Welcome to another episode of Platinum Pussy. I am joined here by a very special guest. He is an actor, a writer, he's a former doctor, and he's also the only man in my life that I call brother. Welcome to Platinum Pussy.
What an introduction, brother. Oh my gosh.
It's
my
so
heart
true.
melts.
It's so true,
Same.
though, and that's something we're going to get into. But so happy you're here, and welcome to Platinum Pussy. You're the first male guest, Ashok Tolpady, also known as Ash T. How do you feel?
I feel a little teary-eyed right now, just thinking about that introduction, because you're like a sister to me. Oh man, I have to start crying at the very beginning.
Okay, we need to start this off a little light before we get heavy. Okay, like I want to talk to you about so many things, and in like preparing for this episode, I was like, what are the things I want to focus on? Because otherwise it would end up being like 2 hours, some of our phone conversations. Yeah. But I really want to get into culture, how that's shaped you as a man, your belief system around like love and dating, our unique relationship, and also the film that you're working on. It's a lot of exciting things, but let's start with family. Okay. So we're both South Asian. That comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of pros, cons, and like figuring out what your place is in the world. So I want to ask you, what I know of you, you've come from like a traditional, more conservative, like Indian family and upbringing. How do you think that shaped you as a man, especially like your earlier formative years of what you believed a man should be?
Yeah, I guess a lot of the way that I interpret being a man is just through looking at how my father is, right? So when I look at my father, he's a provider of the family, and that means everything financially. And anytime something goes wrong, he's a person that we talk to figure out an answer. So it's just somebody that takes care of business and never cries, actually, never has any emotion, but just as a sturdy anchor.
Do you feel that growing up that your father was someone you could go to for like advice or issues you were ever dealing with, or was there a wall where you just needed to deal with it yourself?
I think that I felt betrayed one time because I thought I could tell him everything without my mom knowing, but they are one parental unit. So when I was in college, when I was 18, I tripped on acid and then I had epilepsy. And I didn't want my mom to know that because I thought she would freak out. And I told my dad, and I said, "Don't tell mom though." But so he did. And so I felt betrayed, and I was like, crap, I guess I can't. They're the same people.
But isn't that a sign of a good marriage?
Yeah, you're right. It is a sign of a good marriage.
They're one unit.
It is, yeah. I guess so. It's just, I know that like there was no sides. There was nobody I could really talk to about anything.
Yeah, this is something I covered in one of my previous episodes, is where I feel like with women, we have so much community and we're really good at finding like the womanhood where you can just go and be yourself and talk about problems, whether it's relationship or personal issues, and just let things out. And I don't feel like men really have that space, even whether it's like growing up or whether it's in their adulthood, that they can just like go to a guy friend and be like, "Hey, I'm just like really going through it." Like sometimes, from what I know, relationship wise, it's a little more acceptable. But like, what's kind of your experience been with that? Like, especially as a teenager.
Oh, I don't feel like I had anyone to talk to. I feel like I had to hold it in. I feel like now I have many people that I can talk to and be open with, but I think that's part of the being in a South Asian family, that these types of things aren't really talked about. Everything's kind of just put under, just make really good grades, work hard, and everything will be okay. But none of the emotions are really dealt with. Don't be emotional. Don't be crazy. Just be very stable and level the whole time. But now I feel like I have a lot of friends that I can speak with.
I would say that's partly due to your creative career as well, right? Being an actor and being able to express yourself and going into places and spaces that were uncomfortable for you growing up. So we'll get into that before we jump ahead to that part of your career. You know, you had this upbringing, and you know the way things are in the South Asian household is just like get good grades, get married.
Also, don't ever date. Don't be around women. I don't know if you had that. Like, don't even look at other guys. I don't know if that was for you. Not me looking at other guys.
Yeah, okay.
Don't look at other women.
Say, okay.
But yeah, like don't date. Like when I had to go to the prom, it was a nightmare because my parents were like, oh, we don't even want to talk to you. Like, how dare you go to the prom? Why don't you go with Sangeeta? She's a nice Indian girl.
Oh, like, Sangeeta. No. Okay, I mean, I wasn't allowed to date, but I think my mom was a little bit more open-minded as far as like having a prom date or having guy friends and like liking boys. But yeah,
wow,
I couldn't.
so you had a lot more leeway. I didn't. Nothing.
Yeah. No, so it's and it wasn't like a whole lot. Like I mean, I got like the first time I was seen with a guy holding hands, it was like the world was crashing down, and it was the worst decision to move to America, and like you forgot your values
just for holding hands.
For holding hands,
and meanwhile, we're in America, and we're seeing all of these other people that are holding hands like right in front of us, and we're thinking, why can't we do that?
Yeah, and I think that is what causes so much of the rebellion.
Friction.
And
rebellion,
it really does, because for me that's what it felt like. And there was things that at like 16 or 17 I just wanted to do it to like just make a statement.
And did you also want to get the hell out of the house as soon as possible because of this? Because you just felt like I can't do anything in here. I have no independence.
Yeah, well, I felt that way after I got in trouble, because then it started being like really strict. Then I had like really strict curfew, and like, who are you texting, and let me see your phone. And so then I was like, okay, I just gotta get out of here. Honestly, because I was a good kid for the most part, and I'm like, I can like a boy. It's not a big deal. Nothing crazy is happening. So yeah, I mean, the pressure is for sure both ways. I always thought it was less on men.
Oh, well, maybe in other families, not mine. I mean, they just did not want me to be around women at all, and that influenced the way that I'm a little bit shy around women as a result of that. I don't know how to. I'm sure it affects me when I'm talking to women as well.
I do think some of it comes from fear with our parents, right? They don't want us to get caught up in this like Western lifestyle of partying, dating, and not
get someone pregnant.
Exactly. No, it's like it's a real thing, right? Yeah. And they want you to have responsibility, be able to take care of yourself. Like finances were always a big thing. Even with me being a girl, like my mom was very adamant about being financially independent and focusing on that. You did a lot of those things that your parents wanted you to do. You became a doctor. You got married.
Got an arranged marriage.
Yeah. Yes. Let's start with being a doctor. Is that something you wanted to do at that point? Were you excited about it?
No, but I think for me, what it signaled would be that my parents would get off my back and be like, all right, he's, his brother is a doctor and now he's a doctor. If I hadn't become a doctor, if I hadn't gotten that degree, my whole life I'd be thinking, am I not smart enough or good enough to be able to do this? So I think it was more of a prestige for me to become a doctor. Mm-hmm. It's so hammered into our culture to be a doctor. And then not even an engineer sometimes. It's just like doctor or lawyer. That's about it.
Yeah, I used to say that it was just you're a doctor, lawyer, or a failure.
Yes.
And those are your only options in life. And it's so much pressure because I think also you believe like once I accomplish this thing, like
I'll be enough.
I'll be enough.
Yeah.
Like I will have earned my parents' love.
Yes.
And I'm invincible now.
Yeah.
And like I went through some of that in going to law school, although it wasn't something that was imposed on me by my mom. I wanted to do it because of the culture. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, I'm gonna be like a maid woman. Like once I do this. And there are benefits to having that sort of education.
Yeah, I think there's a balance, right?
Yeah.
I certainly respect the choices they made because I'm very independent and I can do anything as a result of that type of upbringing. But there's also a balance, like where's the love part of it come in,
Yeah. Well, we're not going to fight that on this podcast. That's a much longer conversation. Yeah. But you became a doctor and then you had an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Okay, walk me through that, because arranged marriage is a big concept in like Pakistani culture as well. I think it's a little bit different in Indian culture, and it's more widespread, and the whole like biodata thing and you know, the matchmaker is a lot more common. And there's like this like art and science to it. It's taken very seriously, and parts of it make so much sense to me. I'm going to let you explain how that works, but parts of it remind me of modern dating on apps. Tell me about that experience. Like, is that something you just knew was going to happen growing up?
I had no idea it was coming, actually. So I had just, I was doing a fellowship at National Institute of Health, and I thought, okay, finally I'm done. They're gonna get off my back. They're not gonna pressure me to do anything else. But then all of a sudden, every weekend they would come and be like, "You need to get married. You need to get." I'm what? What? I need to get married. Where is this coming from?
Wait, and how old were you?
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe 35.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe also I had not been really successful in finding anyone in America too, right? In Virginia and Maryland, I hadn't been dating anyone for a long period of time. So I thought, yeah, maybe I should get married.
Maybe I should get a wife.
Yeah, maybe I should try this angle. Bad idea.
Were you in a place where you wanted a long-term partnership?
Okay, so when I was doing this fellowship, I also had started a photography company with somebody else. But he was starting because somehow he managed to get the copyright of all of it. So then he was able to take the business away from me. And so I was in a really weak place. Oh, also, I had been in a relationship, and really short relationship, 1 month, but I was like so enamored by this person, and it really hurt me when she just like left. And I know now that very vulnerable position where I felt like I was all alone and I would never have anybody probably allowed me to acknowledge my parents' pressures. I was like, all right, yeah, you're right. Maybe I should get an arranged marriage since I've been unsuccessful here, and especially with this woman that I just dated. If I can't find anybody. Also, you know, I would hear from my brother, like, you gotta get married soon. Like, you're losing your charm. So it's like you're losing your hair.
Oh no! Like, yeah, the hair. Listen, the hairline is a big thing for men, though. It's like the mark of it's the beauty standard for men. So I get that pressure. Is that a real pressure though? Did you feel that?
I felt the pressure. You know, like now I feel like, oh, I can date anyone at any time. I'm not going to have a problem. But I didn't know that back then. You know? So I felt like, yeah, they're right. I do have limited options. It was all coming into my head, since it's the talk that goes into your head all the time from the people you're around. And so I definitely felt, wow, they're right. Maybe I'm not good looking, and I'm not going to be able to find anybody. So maybe I should do it.
What were some of the things that you struggled with as an individual? Not necessarily what went wrong or like what she did wrong, right? Because like as a woman, I never want to like hear one side of the story. So I don't want to pick that apart. But what was for you things that you were struggling with that weren't making you happy?
Well, let's talk about the aspects of how arranged marriage comes together. So basically, I would get emails from my parents every week. How do you like this person? I would get a few photos, and of course, they would send a resume and the astrology of this person. I don't need that information, by the way. You know.
Wait, so what's on the resume?
You know, straight A student.
No, wait, you're serious?
Yeah. It's like I don't care. The masters. It's like a work resume.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's some hobbies at the very bottom, right? Like what school you went to, all that stuff. And so I got to see what my competition was back in the day, I guess. I don't know why I need that resume. Anyway, so once you get the picture, if you find someone that you like, then you can talk to them over the phone or over Zoom. And then, you know, you can escalate it. Escalate like an IT problem. Let's escalate the issue. So if you like someone, then you meet them and you start hanging out with them. And then, you know, it goes from there. But I just felt like anybody that I met, I wasn't really connected with. But there was a woman in India, and like the first Zoom that we got into, I felt like, okay, she's got a sense of humor. I kind of like that. So I should go visit her. And I visited her, and like, I think I stayed there for 2 weeks with her and her parents. And then
chaperoned visit.
Chaperone visit. Yeah, chaperone visit. And then I said, yeah, okay, I'll do this arranged marriage thing.
But this is wild to me. My first question is, you said they send you a resume and astrology and pictures, right? And so you are just focused on the pictures.
Yeah.
I always, it's like it's literally how things still work right now, and that's why I relate it to a dating app, because I feel like men will, just initially go off of the looks, right? And like women care about looks too, so I just want to clarify that. Like I
want someone tall and fair and lovely.
Yes, 6'5", blue eye, finance bro. That used to be my type for a very long time. But so you focus on the picture and like the looks, and I feel like a lot of times women will focus on the resume. Like if this is me and I'm getting this bio data, I'm looking at the resume.
Right, totally. It's all superficial.
And I think it comes with...
It's just like Match.
It is. Well, it is. And because also like for the biggest thing that's always been kind of drilled into your mind being a woman is be with someone who's financially secure, who can financially take care of you. And I understand that a little bit more now, because I'm at an age where I want to get married and have kids.
Yeah.
And so I'm financially independent and I can provide for myself, and I can be an equal partner in a marriage. But the thing I think about is when I get pregnant or if I have kids, and I've seen women go through a lot of hardship during that time, I don't want to feel the burden of having to have this like massive career to pay the mortgage, So that is something I think about a lot more now than I ever did in my 20s. Like I didn't care for it much then. But for men, I think the looks is do you think it's a security thing? Like, does it make a man feel more secure and confident to be with a good-looking woman?
No, I just think it's basic biology. You just want to be
doctor.
You just want to be with someone.
Okay,
doctor,
break it down.
Evolutionary, right? You're just attracted to certain body types and eyes and smile, and that's all it is.
What is it? Someone once said like, big hips, nice lips. Is
that a rapper?
I know, yeah, probably. I heard it somewhere. And I know the hips part. I think there's like science behind it. If you have like wider hips, you have an easier time with childbirth.
Right.
So wide hips, childbearing hips. But I think statistically there's a higher chance of a marriage lasting with arranged marriages. I don't know. I've seen a lot of like this data coming out.
I used to see that like 15 years ago, but I don't know if that's the case anymore.
Well, people are just not getting married that much anymore. I don't think they really care. Yeah. So it's kind of
But
shifted.
also maybe it's the arranged marriage of the past. Because with my dad and mom, it's just like you meet once and then you decide and that's done.
I think because love isn't part of the priority in the equation. It's the commitment.
Totally.
And it's like raising the children and growing together as a household, as a unit. In modern society, especially this day and age with like Gen Z, millennial, all of that, there's so much more stress on like individuality. And like even when you go on social media and you like scroll through dating advice, it's all about like, don't lose yourself in the relationship, have your own autonomy, like have your independence, do all the things you want to do. And that's fair and that's healthy, but marriage takes a lot of sacrifice, especially if you're going to raise children, right?
And would you want to do an arranged marriage now?
I said to my mom, I think it was earlier this year, because as you know, I've had a very turbulent love life. But I told her I'd be open to it and the reason is because I think if I was to date now, on my own, I would consider a matchmaker.
Yeah.
And part of it is because I don't trust myself to make the right choices.
Oh, wow.
In a partner. And I'm being like totally honest about that.
I've never heard that before, that somebody I thought it was mainly because it's just easier to filter out the things that I like and don't like. But you're saying I don't trust myself to make the right choice.
I know, I'm incriminating myself right now. No, I do. You know, and the reason I say that is because one thing I've accepted about myself is I'm such a lover. And I don't know if you grew up with this, but I grew up with so much Bollywood and like the very like rom-coms, even in Hollywood. And like, yeah. And, you know, my mom had this like amazing love marriage. My father passed away when I was very young, but it was like, you know, in the, I guess, 70s or 80s, whenever they met, like they had this like Romeo and Juliet type of love.
Okay, so you're coming from a love marriage.
Yeah, my sisters had love marriages. Like it's so most people in my family have like it's been love. And so I'm such a big believer in like you meet someone, you have the sparks and the connection and the chemistry. And no matter how mature I get, and I know all the signs of like things that are just like too hot in the beginning are gonna fizzle out, I like crave that chemistry and romance, and then it like blinds me, and I'm not thinking about like, do our value systems align? Do we have the same goals? Like, you know, where's your resume? Like, what's your ambition? Like, I'm not focused on those things, and I'm getting better, but I just feel like that's just a part of me. And if someone else is looking at me and like analyzing what my life is and who would be a good partner, I think they might be able to line up like better matches, right? And I still want the love and the chemistry, but it's hard to be practical and like focused and have a checklist when you're just blinded by all of that. So I think arranged marriage is no different than a matchmaker.
Yeah.
If it's not forced on you, right? Like with you, it sounds like you had this pressure and you don't have a lot of time. And that to me feels stressful.
Yeah, I guess there is like a pressure to when you keep on denying, you're like, I don't know, no, next. Then they just think, oh God, this guy's never gonna get married. Well, why not her? Why not her? She's nice. I'm like, yeah, but I have to be able to get it up, right? I remember telling my dad that. He's like, oh God.
Wait, you told your dad this? What was his reaction?
He disgust. He's like, I don't know.
He's like, we've lost you. We've lost you to the West.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Right.
That's hilarious though. That's so true. You do need attraction though.
Yeah,
I think it's so important.
The physical attraction, the chemistry. Yeah.
So the marriage ended. You've been kind of on your own and figuring out a new path, delving into acting, your creative ambitions. What prompted you to just go for it?
Okay, so basically, my understanding, and it's so interesting to think about this because I'm in my mid-30s, and how do I not have the sense to know what I really want in life? You know? It's just that I thought, okay, let me listen to my parents. They've been right on everything. If they say that I just need a good job and to be married and have a house and I'm going to live a happy life, then let me do that. But I was very unsatisfied. I was like, oh, I did everything. I did everything they said, but I'm not happy at all in this. I mean, I'm eating tres leches every day and, you know, huge pizzas, and I'm gaining weight, and I'm not happy in life. And I said, well, what is the one thing that I want to do in my life? I want to be an actor. I remember doing that when I was 5 or 6 and frequently through high school, and I really enjoyed it. And that's the one thing that I was not doing. I took an acting class, or 5 maybe, and I was like, yes, yeah, shit, I like this a lot. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be poor. Was my first thought. I was like, oh, great. How could I love this so much? And that was pretty much what prompted me to eventually like leave everything. It was a process, but as I continued to feel things as an actor, I realized I can't be a doctor. We only have one life. I felt like I was in the Matrix. Do I take the red pill or the blue pill? Do I just continue doing this and everybody's happy? Or do I take the harder route, which is get out of the marriage? Everybody's going to be angry with me. I need to leave my job. I need to become an actor because this is what I really want to do. So, was
there anybody in your life that you leaned on for support, or is that a decision you came to on your own?
Yeah, it's a decision I came to on my own. I don't have any. I didn't feel like I had any support of this is what I want to do.
Were there any pressures around like the amount of money you were going to be making? And I mean this like specifically to like the pressure that's on men to be a provider, like did that affect how you thought about what your life was going to look like as far as like relationship and how you
No,
were?
you know what? I will say that my wife was very supportive of the situation. You know, she's like, okay, I'll be a dentist. If you want to be an actor, that's cool. But the reality was, she was not making any money, so the pressure would have been on me to continue to figure out a way to make money. So despite, you know, yeah, she would definitely have supported me, but she was not in a position to support me. So I had to continue being a doctor for a little bit.
The situation that you were in where you wanted to pursue something that was going to reduce your income is exactly the reason why I tell women they need to be financially independent, right? And I think so many times the message is you need to be financially independent so you can get out of a bad situation. And for me, that is important because it's hard to walk away when your livelihood is dependent on the man in your life. But part of it is also that your entire household doesn't fall apart if one person needs to pivot, or if the man needs to pivot. Because I've seen, from like my own cousins or like men that I know, they will stay in this cycle of unhappiness and not being fulfilled because they know they have to be the man of the house, right? And so it's like all these like unrealized dreams that they had.
And then they probably put that in cycles for their kids as well.
For sure. And I think that and you start to resent the marriage because you feel that I can't live my dream because of the marriage.
I have to take care of this person.
Yeah. And it is a responsibility that you do need to take care of each other. But I think when, as a woman, you can be financially independent and you can step up to the plate, it gives your partner more freedom to go out and try something new. It's no different than them wanting to build a business, right? Like I've, like my sister's relationships, I know there have been times where they've kind of bounce back and forth of like you be the partner with the stable income and the job and the health insurance, right? Because that's a big one. And I want to build a business. So I know acting might be a little different as viewed from like, just I think culture and society, because it's like, okay, well,
you're never gonna make money.
Yeah, okay, good luck. Like, I mean, that's really amazing, that you did have a partner who was willing to let you go try this new thing. Right. And especially like, was the conversation like, oh, I want to be an actor, like I'm not going to be a doctor anymore?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's shocking.
That's very, yeah, she's very progressive.
So you started exploring acting, but you were still working as a doctor?
Yeah.
Did you go all in like after the marriage ended, or like how did that really pan out, you being on your own?
Okay, so she was in dental school, so then it made sense for me to leave my job and just be in California with her. Since she's in California, I was like, okay, I'll go to LA and I'll train. So I still have some, money left over for being a doctor. I mean, I'm making $300,000 a year, so I'm able to kind of make that pivot.
Yeah. So you had a plan.
Yeah.
You weren't like, I'm just going to be a struggling actor.
Right.
You put in some thought into it.
Yeah.
Like, let's fast forward a little bit to like, you've been in LA, things kind of fell apart. You're on your own. You've been in acting classes. You've booked some things, like made friends in the industry. Do you feel that acting has helped you express yourself and your emotions more fully, like as a man? Like, are there places that you go in certain characters that you wouldn't feel safe going as just yourself?
I think what acting allowed me to do is really explore who I am as a person and accept everything about me so that I can be whatever I want to be when I'm out in public. It doesn't even have to be in characters, I'm very confident in saying and honest in who I am now. I don't have to hide anything. So I think that as a doctor, I felt like I have to be this proper person. I'm being someone I'm not really. But as an actor, I can finally be myself.
And what were some of those things that made you feel like yourself, like emotionally?
Just having a sense of humor, being as crazy as I wanted to be, having emotions, just being able to express myself in my emotions at any point, anger, sadness, whatever, and not feel ashamed of any of those emotions.
Because do you feel like those things are looked down upon, especially like being
Anger
a man?
certainly is.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I never felt ashamed of crying.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, tell me
Which is
about that because I
interesting.
think that's so rare with
Yeah.
men.
Yeah, it is really weird because it's not, I don't think my culture was very, asked me to be too masculine, you know? If anything, it's like, it's okay to cry, but don't get angry. Don't act crazy. Yeah.
Wait, tell me more about that because I don't really.
Don't get too excited about things. Like, be level headed and calm. You know, don't act up, I guess. Don't be like a child. Don't, you know, don't get angry. I remember that I came home one time. Let's see, I went to an award ceremony. I'd gotten all the awards, but I didn't dress up, and I am dressed up now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just had a T-shirt on getting those awards, and my parents were so mad at me for, they didn't care about the awards I got. They were just like, you didn't present yourself well in public. And so I got really angry, punched the wall, punched a hole in it, and then like they were angry with me for a month and didn't talk to me. So anger is not a good thing ever to have in the household. I never felt ashamed to cry in public. And no one ever made fun of me for that.
Is this as an actor or just as a person?
As a person in Virginia.
I'm glad that you had that experience because I know a lot of men feel like they need to bottle things up and not get emotional, and like crying has been one of the biggest things. This topic of like anger is actually quite interesting to me because I think and yeah, I mean, like, I don't think anybody should be expressing anger like towards their partner, and like already so many women fear being in abusive relationships or like not being able to speak up to their partner, and so like when anger and loudness and all of that is added into the mix, there's this like huge sense of fear, and you feel like you just need to be small and stay quiet. But the situation you described with your parents, I feel like that anger is coming from a place of not being able to express yourself and be who you are, or not being acknowledged for your accomplishments. Both. Right?
Both.
And so there wasn't really any space for you to say your piece.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it was just one-sided of like, you've disappointed us.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what to do with that.
Right. And it was like I could say my piece, which was, you saw what I was dressed in when I left. You didn't say anything then.
Do you feel like you need to earn love by your accomplishments?
Definitely.
Do you still feel that way?
Yeah.
Like
I don't feel like I can really, I don't like to take vacations. I don't like to be doing recreational things for long periods of time because I feel like it takes me away from working on my craft. And until I achieve a certain level of success in this craft, I feel like I don't ever feel good going on trips and just having fun for no reason.
Is that a pressure you've put on yourself, or where do you think it's coming from?
I don't know where it's coming from. I really don't.
Okay, I need to not therapize you because like I'm not a therapist, so I don't have all the tools. But I would say that's something to pay attention to. And I don't know, and I'm also curious in asking this because it's something that I've dealt with a lot as well. I don't care as much anymore, but I do think it's a cultural standard. It just like in South Asian culture in general is like, you get the straight A's and,
and then you get the reward.
Yeah, exactly. Or, with girls, it's like you're like the most modest or likable and all of that. So it does make you feel that you have to reach this level of perfection in order for someone to love you fully. And if there's any flaws, like you need to cover them or fix them, and like you just need to be perfect. So I think it just exists, but I'm sure it's there outside of culture as well. So that's why I was curious, because now like, you are on your own.
I don't even think I deserve love until I've achieved a certain level of success.
Okay, we need to fix that. We need to fix that for sure.
Yeah.
I guess, what do you look for in a partner?
I'm not looking anymore.
You're not looking anymore. Wow.
I don't know. There's something that's shifted within me. And I don't know what it is, but and it's so interesting that people are interested once you don't care about finding love. But I'm just so obsessed with the craft of acting, every aspect of it. And that is all I obsess about every single day. How do I break out? What are the things I need to do today? And it gives me a lot of joy and happiness to be in those scenes. I get to be somebody that I'm not. I don't have a life, so I enjoy playing someone else's life.
That's a lot of actors, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of enjoyment in playing characters rather than enjoying my own life.
So but now I don't know what your North Star is as an actor. So actually tell me, what is your North Star as an actor? Like, I know you will never stop acting, but what is a stage that you will reach where you feel like you've made it?
I think I set this goal of when manager is calling me on my phone and saying, "Hey, PTA wants you to do this script. Can you take a look at it?" Then I'll know that I have made it, and I'm worthy, and I can continue forward and enjoy life now and party.
Okay, so do you think you'd want love at that point, or is that love is just like not part of the equation? There's no pressure.
I'm open to love, but I don't know that I have ever encountered it in a way where I feel like it enhances my life.
But why? Because is it a lot of pressure on you?
Well, I don't know. Or maybe I just haven't met the right person. Could be that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to meet a lot of people, right? Before someone comes across that you vibe with and you're like, yeah, I could. Look, I know like last year or maybe 2 years ago, there's been people that I've been like, wow, I would love to be with that person. I could totally see myself getting married to this person and having a life. But I don't have those feelings anymore. And I think it's kind of a good thing. It allows me, I kind of enjoy this hyper focus that I have now. But I'm sure if the right person came along, I don't know what that even is for me, you know? I don't know that I would be on board to explore that.
Listen, to each their own.
Yeah.
I'm not, just because I'm a lover girl, I'm not going to pressure you into like wanting someone at this stage of your life. And I feel like you are very committed to your craft and you're focused on what you want to do and you're really happy with it, right? And
Very happy alone.
You're excelling, you're progressing. No, that's so, it's so fair. And one of the things I've always appreciated about you as a friend and just like as a man is I feel like you're really honest about what you want. And even with like dating or like hooking up with women or whatever it is, you've never pretended to be somebody you're not. Like you've never been this person who says,
I'm a family guy and
I'm looking for a wife and the future mother of my children. Right. You're very much like, hey, I like you, I want to date, I'm not looking for something serious right now, and I really respect that because so many guys will just, and especially in LA, they will just do this, oh, I really like you, and like let's just like flow and like let's see where things go, and like it's just this, it's enough breadcrumbing for you to think this could be like my future husband when they have no intention of like being that type of provider or taking that type of responsibility, because it is a responsibility and it does take away from other things, right? Because there's only enough hours in the day. So I love that about you, and I do hope that you remain open to somebody who can share on the journey, with you, because I don't think.
And there are a lot of women that are very career oriented as well, and they don't want to have kids, and they're like,
exactly, exactly. Who can, like, someone who can meet you where you're at,
right? Because
part of me feels, and this is not me, being your therapist, it's just because I know you as a person, is you're subconsciously like sort of shutting that door in a way because you're scared it's gonna affect your success,
Totally.
right? Like,
Totally.
and it's almost like, and I know you're somebody who cares and loves deeply, like just as a person, it's in your nature. So I almost feel like the right person, whatever that is for you, could walk into your life and you're going to be ridden with fear because, you know, it's a tough decision. Like, what hours do I take away from my craft or my work? And it really, really takes like mutual understanding and mutual respect for each other to like not stifle someone's ambitions, right?
Yeah.
So I get that. I totally get that. And yeah, I hope you'll keep that door open though.
It's open.
Okay. The door is open.
It's open.
Ladies.
Maybe subconsciously it's closed, but it's open.
Yeah, you never know. And I'm sure you've read all these things where they say you find love when you're not looking for it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not some like woo-woo type of thing. I think it works because you're loving yourself and you're confident and you're not pigeonholing like what your ideal partner is, right?
Yeah.
Like what they look like, what career they have, you know, personality traits. You just meet someone, you
Click.
vibe, you click, all of that is there. And then you somehow it's easier to have more meaningful conversations when you're not constantly thinking about impressing the other person.
Yeah, how do I get with this person, right?
Exactly.
Do I have to tell them? Do I have to lie about like wanting a family? Yeah, that type of thing. Right?
Yeah, you can be more open
Yeah.
and vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I love where you're at right now. I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. A bit of a hard pivot.
Uh-oh.
Sort of.
All right,
Okay.
here we go. Okay.
Get ready. Yeah, you might want to stretch. I'm gonna stretch to get comfortable for this. My experience with you has been so different than any of my male relationships. And I strongly believe that you cannot have a best friend of the opposite sex. It usually does not work out long term. Like one person will either catch feelings or you start dating somebody who takes issue with it and like you're emotionally really attached to this person. And so it just can kind of get muddy.
Yeah.
And this belief of mine really kind of comes from the fact that throughout my life, I have had some really, really great male friendships. And I'm not saying like friends. Like I have a lot of male friends and I still do, but not like a best friend, someone who's like really close to me and I can pick up the phone and vent or talk about my relationship or just anything in life. Like that sort of platonic relationship. I've never been able to experience that with a guy when it like is like a best friend. Yeah. So like time and time again, it's like, it's good, it's great, you know, if we're both in relationships, it's good. Or if one person is, it's fine. But whenever the opportunity presents itself, like they will always shoot their shot. Okay. And it's been the first time this happened to me. I think I don't know, maybe I was in college. And it was just soul crushing. So I'm like, but well, we just call him Bob for now. But I was like, but what do you mean? How could you like me? Like I'm your bro, you know? And it was like such a breach of trust for me because it meant to me that like, oh, all those times where we were hanging out and I'm just like kicking it with you, or even like I'm being like kind of touchy-feely with you in like a very platonic way, you were taking it, you know, completely in a different light. Yeah. You know, so it made me question the relationship. And since then it's happened to me like multiple times, right? So I sort of have this like guard with guy friends of, okay, I'm not going to be alone with them. Like I'm not going to go over to their place if it's just me and them. Like we're not going to be out partying late and like, you know, just kind of safeguarding. So I don't get like hurt, you know?
Right.
So with you, it's been so different and it's like opened my eyes to like, you know, there are exceptions to the rule, right? And I still do broadly believe that that's true. And especially if you're a good looking girl, you know, I think I'm like above a 7, you know? So I feel like it can be hard. Like the temptation is there. So I want to actually go back to like the beginning of our friendship. because in thinking about this episode, I was like, how is it that I have this like relationship with you,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
like I'm like in my 30s, and now for the first time I'm experiencing this. And we did an acting class together where we were brother and sister, and I'll touch on that because I think that was sort of the pivotal moment for me.
Right.
So we met. We hung out a few times. It was always like really fun. It was in like group settings. And then I think we hung out maybe like the first year 3 or 4 times, just like one-on-one, you and I.
Yeah.
And we were both single at the time.
I also, I'm going to tell you this. I think you might have been at our apartment with me and Matthew and Johnny, and I felt like, who is this diva? Like, why is she so full of herself? Like,
Wait, was that your first impression?
Like, she's so arrogant. Like, I don't.
Oh my
and
God.
she's attacking me all the time in all her questions. Like, I don't know if I like her that much.
Oh my God, wait, can I tell you that my first I was going to ask you that, but you just jumped to it. It's so good. My first impression of you, I thought you were such a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was like, he's such a dick.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt like we would just like banter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we would just banter, and we were just like, it was like we were on guard and we were like karate chopping. We were sparring with each other.
Yeah. So was that kind of like the moment where you're like, I'm like not attracted to this girl?
She's pissing me off.
She's pissing me off. Like, this is not my vibe.
Right,
so you friend zoned me.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't even want to be my friend then. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, you guys deal with this.
It's like, I feel like this is the beginning of like every rom-com, except it didn't turn into a rom-com. Right? Okay, so we both didn't have the best impression of each other.
Exactly. So
but
funny, isn't it?
It's so crazy. And you know, part of it, I am a diva. I'm not gonna lie. And you do have an attitude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, those are facts.
It can be very cunty at times.
Yeah, exactly. So we saw right through each other. Like, there was no mask.
Right.
And that just made us so much more comfortable. But I had to like dig deep through like my brain archives of like all the moments we've spent together. And I remembered, and I was questioning if I want to bring this up on the podcast, but I'm going to, because I'm curious if your recollection of this is the same as mine. So you and I went to watch a play that one of our friends invited us to.
Gosh, I don't remember now.
I'll try to remind you what happened, and maybe that'll ring a bell. Okay.
All right.
We went to watch this play that a friend of ours invited us to. It was like a charity play. And then you and I sat next to each other. Mm-hmm. And by this time, like, we'd been friends for a little while. We got past the whole like hating each other's personalities. Yeah. And I just remember like watching the show, and like it was either something really funny or it was something scary. And I can't remember what it was about. But out of excitement, I remember I held your hand.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
You don't?
No.
Okay, I remember I was like, ha ha ha. And then I was like holding your hand. Oh. And then there was like this like awkward pause afterwards. And then I just like I remember I went home and I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, did I like give Ash the wrong impression? Oh. But you have no recollection of this. So like the story doesn't really help.
Yeah.
Because
I don't remember it all. I do remember though when we got wine and cheese that one time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there was something that I said, and you said something like, "Oh, I would totally date you." And I was like, "Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I might date you too." Actually.
Yeah. We were talking about like how brown men, like South Asian men, are like not at the top of the rankings.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to dating, and I think in that I was like, no, that's not true. I don't think so. It's just like what people's types are. You have, I feel like, a lot of good, healthy female friendships.
Yes.
From what I know.
Yeah.
Is the door still always open for you with friends, like with female friends?
I don't think so. I think, and often it's that I may have dated them and then we become friends later. And then we're not going to go back to dating again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So the curiosity is in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what prevents some good, healthy relationships between men and women, is because one person still has a curiosity and you're kind of like seeing this your friend in this light, like because when you think about it, in a friendship, you're for the most part you're seeing a much more stable,
Right.
positive
Exactly.
image of someone.
Exactly.
Because I have had guy friends where they're like, no, you're like my dream girl, like I want to be with you, like we're so good, we're great friends, and I'm like, but when I get in a relationship, I'm a little crazy. You know? I'm a little unhinged.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's like it's just that dynamic that it's not always going to be the same, right? You and I took an acting class, and because we're two brown people, and that's so rare to find in LA, we ended up playing brother and sister in like this really great scene, and it was deep and intense and intimate. And I think like I obviously had comfort with you because we'd been friends and we'd had a good healthy relationship, and it was such a safe space for me to explore that. And also because like I didn't grow up with any male relationships like as a child, right? I didn't have a brother, I didn't grow up with a dad, so I didn't know what that type of love looks like, you know, just that type of pure love from a man who wants like nothing from you, especially nothing sexually. And so that has been one of like the hardest explorations for me.
Wow.
Yeah, you like opened up this door for me, and then class ended, and I feel like I stayed in that emotional state with you, you know?
Yeah.
And I still feel like I'm in that emotional state with you.
Yeah.
Where like you showed me like a part of me that was like missing, that I'd never experienced. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you because it like it's gonna make me cry. But it changed my perspective on so many things. It really did. On how I view men, on what I think they're capable of, right? And yeah, I wanted to like take this chance to tell you like thank you for doing that.
I appreciate it. You can see the tears are welling in my eyes too. Just thinking about it.
Okay, we got too deep.
Okay, let's not get too emotional.
Well, I guess I wonder if you felt any of that, because I know you don't have a sister.
Yeah. I definitely felt a very deep bond. It's a love that I hadn't felt from a kind of like a desi person. That it's not based on my success and how I'm doing in school. It's just based on me. It's like a very pure love type of, like an unconditional love type of relationship.
As a woman, and as a good-looking woman, and independent and kind, like you walk out into the world and you're constantly being like approached, and it's usually because somebody wants something out of you, right? It's like your looks, or they want to parade you around, or even women, they want to be friends with you because what it says about them. And so it's, you constantly feel like everybody wants something from you all the time, and not being able to be recognized just for your humanity it can be really devastating to your image of yourself, right? Because it's kind of like, if I didn't have the looks, if I didn't have some of these accomplishments, right? I don't know if people would value me as just a good person and as a friend, like for my heart and for my loyalty and for all those things. Like it takes so much longer to get there. And for me to be able to have that with you has like changed my image of myself and like what I have to offer. And I think it's reminded me that the thing I love most about myself is that I am a really compassionate person. I am a very loyal person. Like I do care for people, and that surpasses my looks or even like my intelligence or ambition. And it's such a freeing feeling to be viewed that way.
Yeah.
So, and I know there's so many women who struggle with that. So that's why I want to share this with them. It's like, it is possible. And like,
Take an acting class.
yeah, take an acting class. That is true. But really though, I think when you explore creative outlets, it does help you realize who you are as a person instead of being in this like box of accomplishment, achievement, checking like all of the boxes and being, perfect. So I hope like anyone hearing this like feels like a sense of what's possible and just like viewing themselves in a different light. Before we wrap, I do want to ask you about your film.
Oh, right.
Yes. So you are in the process of finishing and submitting to film festivals your short film called Son of a Bikram. And just in like your explanation of what the story means to you, I want to hear about like why you went out on this journey to do this film and what inspired you to write the story.
Well, I was talking to Johnny, a good friend of ours, about making a film, and I have been fascinated with people that are able to manipulate people. And I've also been interested in how you can create really great art or you can do really great benefits for society, but you have to grapple with what if that person's also a monster? And how do you accept the art? Do you accept the benefit that the society gets from it? And so Bikram Chowdhury, there was a Netflix documentary that showed that he brought all this benefits from yoga into the world, but still he was a sexual predator. And so how do you grapple with those two? Because even the people in the documentary, they say, I don't know what to do because I my life completely changed because of him, but he's also a sexual predator. So I thought he's such an interesting character study. I want to do a film about him. And then Johnny said, well, what if you're the bastard son of Bikram? And I'm like, what? Yeah. And so that's kind of where it came from. So this guy, he worships yoga, but he doesn't know that it's his dad. He doesn't know Bikram's his dad. This is a totally made up story from the imagination. And then he finds out later that that is his dad through violence. What happens when he finds that out? How does he connect with that guy being his hero, but now also being a villain because he did whatever?
Yeah. I've seen a cut of the film and I can't relate to the experience of like a son wanting to find his father and like his role model and being disappointed, but on just like a human level, I could relate to it in the sense of like sometimes you put people on a pedestal and when they make a mistake in life, and like of course with Bikram, like there's just things that in my perspective are just unforgivable, right? But just in your day-to-day life, sometimes you put somebody on a pedestal and they make a mistake and it's almost like everything just like falls apart and you don't know if you can even, if like, I guess it's just like this feeling of perfection again, right? Like it's like you give somebody the stature of God and then where they're removed from their throne, it's hard to figure out, can I still respect them for the good that they did in the world? And I think that's a question a lot of people deal with. So I love that you're making this film and I think it's going to speak volumes to people and you were amazing in it and I'm so freaking proud of you for everything you're accomplishing. And I can't wait for other people to see it. I think by you coming on and being so vulnerable, it's going to encourage other people and especially other men to look inwards and think about like the pressures that they have grown up with like within their family, within society, and also issues that they deal with right now, right? And take a step back and be able to be vulnerable and be able to accept your flaws and like make choices from a place that's going to make you happy in like where you're at in life, right? Yeah. Instead of trying to do it to impress a woman or earning love or pleasing society, because And you know, these are hard things to grapple with, but I feel like you're at a place right now where you know who you are, and you're okay making the sacrifices that you are right now. And I think that's is is adding to your mental health being at a good place.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for you, and thank you for coming on. It means the world to me.
I want to say thank you for having me, but everybody says that, right?
Yeah, they
but
do.
I'll say I really had a fun time talking to you. It's every podcast that I do. This one feels a little bit different though, because I feel like it just. I mean, you understand me so well, right? And you understand how to summarize what I'm trying to say. So, and you get it because you kind of have grown up in a similar culture, though not exactly the same. So it was a really good talk.
Okay, and with that, everyone, have a great week, and we'll see you here next week on Platinum Pussy.